Just the people I needed here to talk about Trails in the Sky. I'm still not the biggest fan of the Sega sound chip, man. Oh, I guess we go right in there. What's up, BGG? And how you feel, man? I had a long stream yesterday. Pretty tired. Supposed to press something? Or do they just think that I read really, really slow? This already has more story than Trails in the Sky. Shots fired. She must be really far away. Look. Alright. I like when people only ask questions. Horrid math book. I was like 2 feet away from you. Why does she always have her mouth open in all of her pictures? She's just like... But if you want to talk to me about Trails after I beat the second game, then that means that your focus on the second game means that the first game is liked because you like the second game. I feel like all the first game was just a giant precursor to the second game. I don't think that Trails was a bad game. I really don't. I feel like it was solid in so many different categories. It was just average in a bunch of others, but I feel like they just intentionally made half a game. Yep, Persona 4 is next. So, whoa. Okay, that's something that's interesting. You don't actually have to hold the direction, I can just hold down, and the character will go there. So yeah, okay. So does that happen with every wall, though? How rude! Yeah, I hate depressing people like that. Whoa, did I just go right back down the stairs or something? No. Dr. Lubert's. Doo-doo-doo. I feel like Trails was essentially a game about Estelle and Joshua. And Estelle was the only one that was really well written. Like, Nakurti and I were talking about it a little bit, and I literally guessed everything that was going to happen in the game because it was so obvious. Well, you're doing a really good job at protecting this. See, this is what people that are protecting an area should do. All those guys that fall asleep on the job and just like stand there and you can walk by them and stuff like that. Nah, nope. This guy's got it right. But anyway, as I was saying, I did not like Joshua's story at all. It was very apparent what he did and things like that, but they hold it from you throughout the entire game. And then at the end of the game, they're like, oh, here's the story that if you didn't guess it, here it is now. Did anybody really get to the end of the game, figure out that reveal, and was like, oh my gosh, I did not see that coming? The fact that they just toy with you with it the whole time bothered me. And then they do the whole reveal at the end of the game, and then he's just like, oh, well, I'm gone now. I would have much rather it been revealed to Estelle, and she figured it out, and then she had to continue traveling with him. I feel like that would have been a much better dynamic, which they're probably going to do in the second game. But of course, you know, that's the second game. Exactly, BGG. Exactly. Oh yeah, I already have 3 party members. Something fishy is definitely going on. Alright. Monomeat is procured. What is all this stuff? Vortex times 5? Does it mean I can use it 5 times with the current amount of TP that I have? Or that I can only use it 5 times? That's probably defense. I'm guessing this is just normal attacks. So... Ah. So we can make macros based on certain attack types and things like that. This game's gonna have a lot of fights, isn't it? Okay. How do I get into my inventory? Oh. Surprise attack. Did I get the surprise attack or did they get the surprise attack? I got the surprise attack. Hey, there's this payment. Pacing of combat seems pretty good. I worry that there's gonna be a shit ton of battles, though. Did she get missed? I don't know how I'm supposed to figure out what the spells do. Oh no, 1 damage. Oh my god. No, you missed. Now I'm gonna take damage. Or they're in the manual for the game. I don't really feel like that's the case though, Rio. I feel like it was a cop-out for... It was literally something that had to be put in there to make the whole second game something worth playing in regard, or something to be interested in. Because... why are they out of order on here? So... we know something's going on. It's very quickly realized that there's something going on within the military and things like that. But it's like the whole... their coup was literally to procure weapons as to save the world, which was done by some other mastermind, and then you do nothing with the mastermind at all. Like, what you did and things like that was just lead into the second game. That's it. It is its own separate story and its own separate entity, but really it's not, because without the second game, there's no reason for the first one. It does not really end on anything. It's legitimately half a game. And like I said, I enjoyed the characters and like the actual story itself and things like that. It's not that it's bad, it's just, it's all secondary to the fact that there's another game after it. And the Mastermind reveal to me was obvious too. I might have been joking when I said it because I didn't think it would be that obvious, but it was. It was legitimately that obvious. I'm somewhat disappointed that it was that obvious. Holy crap. Well, if the manual tells you what the skills do, then that's okay. Because you should have the manual if you're playing the game. Honestly, like I said, why am I not able to, like, oh. I'm, like, losing track because you have to select twice for the other characters, but since she has a boomerang, you don't have to press it twice. The first game is literally all about building the character in the world, and that's it. That's all it was about. That was their goals set forward and things like that. Everything else, honestly, was secondary. There's no really good argument for it not being. Whether you enjoyed the story of the coup or not, and then the big reveal of the guy, the major guy for the next game and things like that is beside the point. Why am I doing it this way? I should be having him attack the boss and then him attack the weaker enemies. Like I said, I almost feel like there was no... I would prefer the game to have, like, no coup and stuff like that. I would have... All that stuff at the end just felt like extra nonsense to me. Having our dad show up at the end, the reveal of, like, what the thing did, where it came from, and all that type of stuff. Pushing all of that on the player at the end is just, like, this cop-out excuse for, are you still interested to see what's going on? Well, play! Trails in the Sky 2! There you go. Congratulations. But again, that's the awkward position that the game puts me in, because it's not a bad game. It's not. It's just they legitimately did not give that game a story. I feel like the story was all secondary nonsense added at the end. Or maybe the game was initially meant to just be one game and they split it into two parts and they just picked the shittiest way to split it into two parts. That coup in one entire game, whether the game be like 50 hours long and all that story happening at once in one game, that's a game. Those are literally mother brain containers. Well, see, that's a problem, Rio. Like, I can't feel for them in that regard that they chose to split it that way then. If they knew that they had a story that was going to end up being multiple games and stuff like that, and there's lots of stuff that's got issues with this. There's movies that do this type of thing and stuff like that. The intentional split to make it that you feel like you're playing half of a game. I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm curious of what happens in the second game, but I don't really find Joshua that interesting of a character. I find him incredibly obvious. Estelle, it was one of the few characters that I was really interested in. There was some other characters as well. But, and then you get the other characters in your party, but they're there for such a short time, then they're thrown right back at you at the end of the game. It's like, I did not like that. There was more NPC character development than there was main characters development. And I didn't even do half the quest. Okay. I'm sure I know whose favorite character Nakurdes is. And, like, it's honestly just a when I get reading text and stuff like that, I go silent. So, that's just a disagreement between you and I. I have no issue with you liking the story. To me, the whole game picking up and all the big reveals and stuff like that, Rio, I had theories about them the entire game. And then it all happened, and I was just, was left with, like, what the hell? I honestly, when we were sitting there fighting the final boss, I was more excited and interested about it until our dad came. Like, I was like, okay, we did this. This is something we did. We helped protect something. We did this. We worked for this. And then he shows up at the end, takes off on the arms. It's like, now fight it. It's like, really? That took away everything for me. Everything we led up to, the whole final dungeon, fighting the people up there, everything else, it killed it for me. It legitimately did. Like, what the hell were they thinking with that? And we're supposed to just say that he was going and helping those other two people, which is what they were holding their pressure on the queen for. So he rescued those people, I guess. That's what he was doing the entire time. And we want to think that he couldn't let anyone in the world know what he was attempting to do whatsoever. Oh. You don't look like you're undressing. This game's perverted. Am I healed? Nope. Okay, so plot triggers do not heal me. Good to know. I just feel like the story never really picked up in the game. And even when I felt like it was starting to a little bit and I had a good idea of how it was going to end and what was going to happen and things like that, other than, well, did I not even make a comment that we were going to be fighting against, like, ancient technology or something like that at some point? Did I not say that? I'm pretty sure at one point in time I legitimately said exactly that. And wouldn't you know it, the final boss of the game is this huge-ass giant ancient robot technology thing. There was like nothing in the game that I didn't guess. A weak medicine that restores HP. And I'm gonna click that link that BG sent so that I have access to the manual, because a normal play, as blind as I try to go in these games, I don't think it hurts to have the manual, something that every player would have. I've dropped 4% of my frames. Hold on a second, guys. I'm gonna drop my my settings. Hopefully dropping my bitrate a little bit, I'll stop dropping frames. We'll see how it goes. If this keeps up, I'll just have to potentially cut stream. Internet is not going very well today. So this game does something like Earthbound does. There's a button to talk to people, and then there's like a confirm button, or a button to check things. Or you can do it through menus. I like the fact that there's a shortcut button, although I kind of mapped my controllers very awkwardly on this SNES controller playing a Sega game. Oh, it's not? Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. Apparently there is a button to talk, a button to confirm. Weren't you, like, here near the end, Overhunter? There's a little kid under you. You're gonna tell me nothing's here? So apparently if the person moves, you can't talk to them. But I'm actually, sorry, like, my tone of voice and stuff like that can sound very condescending and stuff like that sometimes, or like super serious about things, and that's not ever my intention, so I would enjoy to keep talking about it, Rio. I like having discussions about games and things like that, so I hope I didn't like push you away with what I was saying or anything like that, or made things awkward. When I get into a discussion and stuff like that, I know that for a fact that my voice can be really Oh, I said... I basically said that Caius coming at the end of the game ruined so much for me. It made everything up to that point feel really crappy to me. And I was also just talking about how I basically predicted everything, and I feel like the game pushes you in the direction of predicting everything or having theories about things. There really is no big reveal. For instance, at the start of the game, you see Joshua with like these soulless eyes. The way he talks to Caius at the beginning and stuff like that, you realize that he did something he shouldn't have done, and then as Caius is leaving, at one point on one of his journeys, he expresses that it's his choice as what he wants to do, and so on and so forth. No? What's the no for? Hey, I didn't repeat the whole thing. How do you know if it's better? No, I feel like it is done on purpose, but just because it's done on purpose doesn't make it like this big, epic, interesting, oh, that was an awesome thing to find out at the end. I feel like the stuff that they did was on purpose, and that just makes it even worse, if that's the case. Because like I said, they went in knowing they had half a game that they were releasing to people. All they did was build the world and build the NPCs up and give you some dialogue between the characters and things like that. It was basically a coming-of-age story for Estelle, essentially. And you could kind of say for Joshua too, but they thwart that by basically saying like, oh, he was an evil killer. I don't know. I was more so bothered by the fact that I expected some big reveal at the end, something really interesting, and then everything that the game showed me was things that I legitimately thought. There's like no happy ending or anything like that. It's half a game. It's half a damn game. Half a freaking game. Wait, what? Oh, I didn't have to buy one. Wait, you can... Oh, is that why he was attacking twice? Or like swinging twice? And he has a shield. I guess I didn't have to buy that. Now, what I can say though is that I feel like I can see second chapter being a good game because I feel like they're going to avoid the things that they did in this game that made this half a game. At least that's my hope. I do not like the fact that I can't see whether it will benefit me or not, or whether they already have it equipped or anything like that, but of course it's an old school game, so... Leather cloth, leather crown, leather helm, leather cloth, leather band, leather cloth. I don't want to do a leather shield because... Well, I guess I could give one to her, unless that's a two-handed weapon, and he's got a two-handed weapon, so it doesn't matter. So everyone's got everything they can equip, I guess. And like I said, I'm sure that if you do more quests and stuff like that, you get a lot more backstory of things, a lot more interesting things. But really, I feel like the whole, as much as Heroine was joking about it, the Caius plot device thing, that alone annoyed me about the game. The fact that he even existed and was a thing was frustrating to me. Here's this guy that if he was here, all of this stuff would be easy and never happen and things like that, and he chooses to appear right at the pinnacle moment of the game. and take away everything that we did and make it belittle it, basically. But it was necessary for their growth, right? It's okay, because if they didn't do this, then they wouldn't have grown as people and individuals. And no, I don't give a shit about that. You don't let little kids and things like that take advantage if you're trying, or try to learn lessons and stuff. It's like, let's look at it this way. If you had like a little kid that's standing on the edge of a cliff, would you sit there and just be like, kid needs to learn? But if he gets really super close to the cliff, then I'll go save him. That'll be the time for me to step in. You know, that's the moment. I don't want to step in before that, because if I do, then they won't learn. They won't learn not to step near cliffs. They've been turned to stone! They've been turned to stone! Why are you kids still here? How long have these kids been here? Weeks? Oh, well, for one, I don't have kids. But that's just an extreme example. But I feel like that's exactly what the game does. We're on the verge of, like, an entire area of the world being destroyed, innocent people dying and things like that. It's like, let's see how my kids do. Oh, I'm so proud. And they've become full-fledged bracers now. It's locked from the inside. ... Wait, I haven't saved it in a while. This is definitely gonna have to be a game where people remind me to save. Well, we've already got repeating tracks. That's a good sign. Caribbean Shield! Man, that must be good. You can equip 2 shields? Why would you do that? Yeah, BGG, maybe that's why I don't have chest hair. It all makes sense now. That doesn't matter though, like... Okay, I'll say this. I would have been much more accepting of it, Rio, if we fought the boss, we beat him, and then he appears and he explained what he was doing. The fact that they felt the need to make him jump in during that final battle made me want to punch something. I go the other way first. I keep pressing the wrong button. I'm confused about the damage in this game because I'm hitting them for 24 and they're not dying, but then she hits one for like 15 and it dies. But it wasn't them that did the whole thing, because they had to cut that, they had to make that scene happen where we fought this boss and it was a really strong struggle fight, and then this guy comes and destroys one of the arms with one attack, and then we're able to beat the boss. Oh, I see. There's ones with 2 heads and ones with 1. I didn't even notice that. There was also, like, no bad guy in the game, you know? Everyone was under control of the bad guy from the next game. I don't know. The game, the best way to explain it, Eltanin, is the game tried to end on a happy note, kind of. Like, it was all this self-contained thing. But in reality, it's not self-contained at all, because it's half a game. Why do I keep going to skill? You don't need to play the second game to enjoy the first one. But I argue that you're not going to enjoy the first game as much as you do the second one. And that's based on me only playing the first. I already enjoy the second game more, and I haven't even played it yet. Let's just say that. That's how I feel about it, which is a really stupid thing to say, but that's honestly how I feel. I'm more interested to see what happens in the next game than I was in what happened in this one. There might have been more stuff in there that I missed, though. I didn't go to the right. Why do you want to be purged? Is there a reason you want to be purged, Eltanin? I think you're okay. For one, we played Golden Sun on stream. I do appreciate you looking out for people, though. But I think that that's a pretty good example, honestly, Eltanin. Carbon suit. Carbon suit? Carbon suit. Carbon. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. To think Nakurdi is almost like a fourth of the way through the game at this point. Let me ask you this, Rio. Was there any aspect of the game that you were surprised by? From start to finish, was there any development under the characters and things like that that you were surprised by? Including Estelle starting to like, Joshua. Like I said, maybe I've just watched like too much anime and played way too many RPGs at this point. I'm gonna go back here and rest. Wait. There it is. Oops. I thought I clicked macro. Yeah, like I said, but to me, the world building, if you focus on world building in one game, it's going to make the next game much more enjoyable than it makes the first game. Unless you're building the world for a reason in the first game. And I feel like that's what it was lacking. Like, there was really no reason for all of it. Other than to being introduced to these characters that are probably going to be there in the next game. I'm gonna drink of water. I'm not saying that the world building wasn't well done. I mean, like I said, some of the NPCs were really well done, and I'm interested to see what happens with them in the next game. But again, I'm interested to see what happens with them in the next game. That's all the more I can really say. Oh man. This guy's totally gonna join us and be kick-ass. Listen to this music. No, it doesn't, like I said, there's... Yeah, I don't think that Trails in the Sky is a bad game. I don't. I mean, I gave it a 7. I just feel like it was just mediocre in most regards. Yeah, that's ultimately what it is, Altanin. You're meant to play all of the games to thoroughly enjoy it. To really get everything. Oh. Is she blushing? That's fine, but that's... Oh, stuff that happened, this is explained? Now, that's the thing. To me, I find that aspect cool in the sake of multiple games. If I'm going to play a game series, having some aspects be like that is cool. But when you're chalking it up to one game as a whole, just one game and what that game is, it's crap. No one wants to play a game that they feel they have to play other games to get the full story and the full appeal. But that's what you're signing yourself up for when you go through the Legend of Heroes games, I guess. That's just all there is to it. It's definitely, you know, it's different than other games that are out there. Yeah, at the same time, Altan and I can understand people getting somewhat upset that they feel like they got cheated out of a story. But I think they probably learned as well. I want to say that second chapter is going to be more self-contained and probably end on a note that although there's more things to learn in the next game, that things are actually going to be resolved that are meaningful. Not just something that I felt like we were thrust into that our dad knew about constantly. Yeah, but that's all writing and world building, Rio. That doesn't mean that they had that planned from the start or anything like that. That's throwbacks to games. That's actually pretty easy to do. It's, well, sorry. It's easy to do. It's not easy to do accurately. TV shows and stuff like that do it all the time. They go off of stuff that happened a long time ago, and it's like these big reveals, and that's all about the investment and time that you put into the game and the world itself. And that could also be a way of them covering their asses saying, oh, well, you know, we never really explained this, so let's do that now. Did you predict that Chloe was the princess, Rio? Right. By the time there was more than 2 games, everything in the game, like, they've got what they want. They've built a world, and now they just have to keep adding to it and throwing back to other things to fans of the series, and there's nothing wrong with that. It takes a lot of focus to actually remember all those things and keep this, like, world as something special. But for someone to only play one game, honestly, it's definitely not a series that's meant for that. At least the first game so far. Again, maybe that's changed. Maybe some of the games are more self-contained than this one is. Oh my god. Yeah. I was like, honestly, there's some of the things that happen in this game where I was just kind of like, if people didn't know this was going on, they literally were not paying attention at all. Buy one. Sorry, guys. Well, that wasn't worth the defense. Well, I should look at what he has, I guess, equipped. A white mail, a circlet, a white mantle, whatever the hell that is, and a wood cane. No. Damn it! Okay. Thank you. What I'm saying is, Rio, I honestly feel like it's a lot easier to appreciate the first game after you've played more games in the series. That's how I feel about it. And I feel like that's a problem. It's not a problem in the sense of in the enjoyment of the series or anything like that. It's a problem when it comes to trying to recommend a game to somebody. Like, you're not recommending Trails to somebody. You're recommending play this series at this point. And that's difficult to do. It's difficult enough to get people to play one game half the time. If it's something that they're not familiar with, or if it's something they're not asking about themselves. The very last scene on the balcony. Oh. Well, let's say this. I expected Joshua to leave after the big reveal. I didn't expect him necessarily to be like, I've loved you this whole time and things like that. But how can you say whether it's... Well, like I said, if someone comes to you and says something like, I want an RPG that's got a really good story and really good characters and things like that, and you've played through the Trails games and you find out that you really enjoy it and you love the universe and things like that and the characters are really well done, but can you really be like, you should play this game? you'd have to more so be like, you should play this series, which I think is difficult. Use Highness power. I'm gonna go ahead and say that this lets me escape out of dungeons. Yuka. Sure. We're probably gonna learn this, and it's a spell to teleport places, but... No, I agree. But how do you express the game to somebody without including the other games? Can you say that playing first chapter of Trails in the Sky is enough for somebody? Be like, play this game, you're gonna enjoy it, and you never need to play another one to thoroughly enjoy it. I don't feel like that's necessarily the case with this particular game. That was awkward. I feel like there's a better way to do it, Eltanin. I feel like there is a way to make a game that is both self-contained in itself and does not require you to play a prior game or a game afterwards. I think that there's a method of doing it, and I feel like it was intentionally not done in this game. Didn't it say it was north of this place? Like I said, we'll see after I play second chapter. Something tells me that second chapter is going to do it in a better way. The thing about it is, to me though, Eltanin, it doesn't necessarily feel like it was just something different for the sake of being different or interesting. I feel like it was there because they didn't know what else to do. Like, they had another game on their hands already that they knew about, obviously, as they did this game. And they tried to make it as much of a game as possible. That's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like it was developed around the fact that it's like, okay, let's turn this into two games. It almost seemed like this is one game. Oh shit, we have to split it into two. How are we going to split it into two? What's the best way? That's just how I feel with playing it. I don't know if that's the case. It's just how it makes me feel. Flowery. Flowery. But from what a lot of people are saying, you don't... Playing the second game is important and it's the best of the three, and that playing 3 is not essential for you to actually enjoy the story or anything like that. That it is in itself actually self-contained, as well as the second story. I feel like maybe this first story is an outlier in that regard. Oh, I will. Don't get me wrong, but the thing about it is I have to rate the game as I play. I played one game in the series. I'm not, like... I did not enjoy this series. Like I said, I gave the game a 7, which is much higher than a lot of ratings I've given to other games. There was no lack, really, of enjoyment for me. I was just somewhat disappointed in how the story progressed. That's it. Like, I was honestly expecting more, and maybe part of that was just that people got me really hyped up for it. And that's my own fault in that regard. But I've got no issues with the game, and I'm actually interested in playing the second game of the series and seeing where it goes and things like that. I'm invested in the characters, more Estelle than anyone else. There's no part of me that doesn't want to play the next game of the series. These guys do a lot of damage. Damn it. I never know which way to take. And I always get in extra battles because of it. Yeah. That's kind of how I feel. Like I said, I was getting more and more invested during Chapter 4 right up until the end. The end kind of bothered me. Why do you think I was playing the game for 16 hours? I wasn't just trying to beat it yesterday. I was interested to see where it was going to go and what was going to happen. And I'm not even disappointed in the fact that I predicted a lot of stuff either. I feel like as long as... It's just like a TV show that you watch, and if you can guess what's going on next, or like a movie or anything like that, guessing what happens next is not an issue. Even if it's predictable, it's about how it's written. If it's written in a good light and it's just really well done, I don't care if I guessed it ahead of time. That doesn't bother me. And that's where the game shines, is the dialogue's just really well written. Although I feel like there might be a bit of padding here and there, of them expressing the same thing over and over and over again, and almost talking to us like we're children in explanations, explaining things multiple times. That's in every game, really. I'm glad that you made me go see that, Rio. I appreciate that. No! Shit! I like how everything else you have to confirm, but not that. Holy shit, Rune's got... What's the... We're gonna lose Rune for a while, aren't we? He's part of our party now, but we're gonna lose him for a while. And then he'll come back later. It is. It's anime. I do appreciate that, Rio. That's something I definitely would have missed. And obviously something I enjoyed because I love Earthbound. Which way is the chest gonna be? Was it over there and I just missed it? Probably. Ugh. Yeah, I'm excited for your stream, man. I am curious, like, how much dialogue I missed from the side quests and things like that. I did some of the side quests. A lot of them just felt nonchalant and like they didn't add anything, like the monsters on the roads and stuff like that. But I didn't really do any of the NPC ones where I had to go talk to NPCs and like learn more about them and things like that. I'm guessing that second story kind of carries over, like you did all of the quests, so maybe some of the NPCs remember things that you did for them that I potentially didn't do. Left or right? Come on, be a chest. Don't be the right way. Yes. So Rio, when you gonna win the raffle and pick the next game? Put it down. When am I gonna rig the raffle? I'm never gonna rig the raffle. Uh-oh. I may have to heal in battle here. We're going for it. Well, even if you do win the next one, it's gonna be like a year and a day before I play anything. Because Persona games are long. Okay. Hey Becky, how are you? I'm doing alright. We just finished Trials in the... Why do I keep saying Trials? Trails in the Sky yesterday. Starting this today. I did not know that that was a girl. Guessing girls have green horns? Alright, Rio. Have a great night, man. Thanks for stopping by. We'll talk about it more as time goes on. I just always enjoy discussions about games. Oh, yay. More dungeon exploring music. Ow. Ow. Holy shit. Rip. Because she doesn't move. I have the best equipment right now, don't I? Just getting destroyed, I guess. Doesn't even heal me to full anymore. It's probably supposed to go dead up center. I just keep finding more money. Give me equipment. Yeah, I went for about 16 hours yesterday. Oops. I'm gonna run out of magic very quickly. Guess now we get to see if that status effect... Yep, she's not moving. Great. So, this makes me feel like it's going to be a game where I leave dungeons. Wait, it wore off. Oh, great. This is not good. Makes me feel like this is the type of game where I'm going to go into a dungeon and leave a lot. Like half my health with one attack. What the hell, man? At least I'm not losing money. But I die really quickly. what to do. I'm gonna make sure that none of my inputs are being... Because there is a rapid fire or turbo button on this controller, and for some reason my downs and ups feel like they get pressed multiple times. Didn't see anything in there. Is there any way to kill these guys quicker? I'm worried about using crosscut because I only have one. What does Sue do? Of course I missed. Okay, that didn't do anything. Screw these toadstools, man. Is Han dead? Nope. It says it down at the bottom. It's Genesis. Where's the rat? Just want to see if something happened if I tried to talk to it. What's up, Acro? Okay, well, I'm gonna guess you can't talk to him. Or he doesn't do anything if you try and talk to him. I'm excited for the second game. That's all the more I can really say about it. I feel like the second game will end up being better than what the first one was. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't exactly expecting to play a Persona game again so soon, but it happens. Sorry, Nakurti, is that why you got all silent? Because I was talking about trails. I'm sure it'll get picked sooner or later. Nope, can't talk to them. Okay. Alright, well, I guess before I go further, I should go back and heal one more time. Yep, we'll play them all eventually. I feel like playing them backwards is going to be difficult because I feel like the series as a whole gets better from each installment. So going back in time... Oh, she's poisoned. I feel like this dungeon isn't even all that big yet. Maybe running away from battles is a thing in this game. I should just run away from battles. Because if we get skills that can potentially like negate damage or lower damage, then I could see us beating the game at like low levels. Or maybe we'll get those spells and these random battles will be easier. What's up, Hitoshi? Yeah, I'd say that it's focused on a more futuristic type world. Oh God. Left or right? Maybe this place is larger. I don't think leveling up in this game is going to be easy unless bosses just give absolutely ridiculous. Acronite, thank you so much for the 2 months in a row, man. Welcome back to the party. Happy to have you. Everyone in chat, be sure to show him some love, show him some hype. Welcome back, man. And thank you so much for the continued support. Jeez, it's been 2 months already. Okay. Kind of expected there to be a chest in this one. Ugh. It's been a while since I fought these ones. Can't remember how much HP they have. Man, they hit quite a bit. Boom, 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 boom. turn order's a little bit weird in this game too. I still haven't quite caught on yet. I'm already almost out of healing magic again. I almost feel like I'm doing something wrong. I don't know. Whenever I play a game and I'm like literally in the second dungeon of the game and getting nearly wiped or nearly losing a character in every fight, I question if I missed a town or something. Or this game's just like gonna be grindtastic. Of course you would hit him. Why wouldn't you? He's the one character that's close to dying. Something tells me Han's not going to be in my party for very long. Why did... I don't get that. Am I pressing down one too many times? Alright. Let's go back and heal yet again. I like how it says dying. So it seems. There's like no other equipment I can buy. He's dying! I'm at the point of just trying to run from like every fight and progress through the dungeon. Because the enemies here aren't easy. They don't give a lot of experience. They eat up a crap ton of resources. And I might be able to get new items if I just progress to a next town. Nothing like getting to the point of wanting to run from every battle nearly 2 hours into a game. I almost fought a battle without taking damage. No, you can't save anywhere. I can't save in this dungeon. No, I didn't get to check all the way up here. Of course it leads to nothing. Hi, Tyler. Do not want to fight these guys. Triplets wouldn't be a thing if we could save in a dungeon. I don't know what you mean by triplets. I guess I could use that, but I'm not gonna use it because I can maybe get more experience on the way out. Yeah. Even though I'm not a huge fan of like the Sega sound card sounds, some of the games on it did really good jobs utilizing it. Maybe I should start using more magic. Let's try this. What? I don't understand what those do. That never works when I use it. Oh, cool. Can you make more than one macro? I don't even know how this macro is made, to be completely honest with you. It was just there. I thought it was based on the last set of attacks that I did. Even when I level, I still take the same amount of damage. And by the time I get to the next area, there's going to be even more difficult enemies that hit even more, I'm sure. So we've got a Venom Gnat. I could probably teleport. I did buy one. But experience, so we'll just walk through. Because you guys know me, I'm not going to want to grind later, and I'll probably need to, so. There's very few old school RPGs where you don't have to grind at some point. One hell of a praying mantis. And your level ups suck, dude. When are you gonna leave my party? Oh god. By golly! I can't hold A. Just like goes to the next part sometimes. My wedding fund. What suit? Grape suit? Do I really want to buy this for him? Is he gonna be in my group for forever? And of course I can't put shields on the other people. Or can she wear a shield at the same time? Oh, she can wear a shield? Okay. You can't because this is two-handed. Nice. Her having a shield will definitely be useful. Actually, I want to see what he's wearing for now. Okay, this is worse. He's got a Titan mail on. It's definitely a grape shield and grape suit. Hopefully I don't regret buying this stuff on him. Follow the yellow brick road. I like how these guys are faster, but I feel like they hit less. Well, it doesn't matter when I get focused on. We're gonna die here, aren't we? No, because I'm gonna run like a wimp and miss out on experience. I see this being a game where you have to do preemptive healing. Like, if you know... I guess he's good at the same spot. Like, you know that the boss can only do so much damage, so you just like have someone healing almost every turn type of thing. Jeez. Maybe having a two-handed weapon is really bad. Jeez, leave him alone. Can we kill them? Yes. Even though we got poisoned. I mean, heal her. Why don't they give any equipment for Chaz? Like, I just bought this crown for her, and she's already getting something new. These look like giant fish. What is that thing on the right? course I missed. I already read this one. Maybe I shouldn't try and progress anymore without going and resting first. Wow, that's a huge increase in damage, but no increase in my armor. Yeah, but not by much. Not as much as wearing a shield would do. Do you not see that thing behind you? Kitty cat robot? God damn it. Lol. We got more characters, guys. We're doing the thing. We're RPGing. We got more party members. How exciting. What's she going to attack with? Claws? She's Wolverine? Is there like a map button? Stop wasting time! Roar. So, kitty cat waifu is pretty strong, it seems. Until she misses. I don't think I'm gonna keep... Whoa. I don't think that I'm gonna keep Han for a long time because he's just wearing like this generic white coat and that's it. It's so generic compared to the other characters that I just don't see me having him in my party for a long time. Could be wrong though. 51 experience. Yeah, he's generic like me. Was that above your bed? Oops. So if we end up having worse gear than what's in the hunters or in the weapons store near or in our hometown, I'm gonna be pissed. No fortune for me. Rocky, no. Holy crap. I don't know if this is better than what I just got or not. Sell some stuff a while. Well, I guess we'll buy it, and if it doesn't... If it's not better, then we'll just sell it right away. Should have figured. Sorry. That came out of nowhere. So she can equip Crown too, and I just had one and I sold it. Wait, what does she have on? Wait, is the... I don't know what's better. Oh, this is confusing. I think I said it like that a long time ago. Because I say fuck a lot. How are you doing, Zoe? Looks like I'm buying a bunch of these. Wait, that's worse than what she's wearing? Oh yeah? That sounds like fun. Okay, so I got it on who I wanted on because he already had one. Alright. That's worse than what she has too. Damn it. So I bought that for no reason. What does he have? He's got one of those helms, so I don't have to buy it already. Yep, I remember. Okay. I guess I'll get... no, I can't even get one for him, but I can get one for her. I wasted a lot of money this time around. But there's no way of knowing what's better or what's not. Shit! God damn it. Oh well. What a waste. Sure, I'll buy a few of these. I think I got plenty of this stuff. Do I need the rest? Sure. It's expensive though. Guess that means that they got caught. I messed up their pathing. Can I cook? Not really. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of grinding in this game. Sure. I can make a hot pocket. I can cook meat pretty well, or anything that has like meat in it and stuff like that. But I'm not very good at like baking or pasta or any of that other type of stuff. There's probably like a lot of money you can find from that guy or something. And yes, I can boil an egg. So I could have rested for free, I'm guessing, and failed at that miserably. I mean, like hard boil eggs? Sure. It's not that difficult. Yeah, as far as I know, I didn't have any buffs, but I might now, because I did get a couple spells. But I don't know what they do. So I wasted all that money like a moron. Cooking's fun. It can just be expensive if you're not like going to the grocery store very often. Well, rip my money. And here I thought I had a lot of extra. Maybe I shouldn't have bought so many healing items and stuff. What do you have over here? Ugh. Better equipment. More important. Why did I buy stuff that's not the best? Alright, I already have that. I don't have the knife. I don't have the axe either. I could have afforded at least the axe. Well, that sucks. Oh well, I guess we'll have to come back here later or something like that. Yeah. Like, especially when the first couple times you go and buy a lot of spices and stuff like that, when you're starting to get everything and pans and pots and all that other stuff if you don't have it already, you spend so much money. And then you have that stuff for a while, but you have to keep up with it. And that's not the easiest thing to do sometimes. I don't enjoy grocery shopping in the first place, so making sure that I have everything all the time. I want to find this guy's secret. Where's your secret? Oops, wrong place. No. Where was his place at? Down here? This one? Nope. There was another character over here that talked about secret treasure. Was it this one? No. It's below, to the right, I think. Yeah. Oh. So she just found the savings. I can't find the savings myself. Sad day. Yeah. Like, I made beef stew recently, and I just made it in the crock pot. And you have to have beef cubes, and you have to have, like, seasoning, and you have to have vegetables, all that other type of stuff that you want to put in it. And that's not the type of stuff that you can just, like, keep in the fridge constantly. Potatoes and all that other type of stuff, unless you get canned potatoes. And I guess you could get, like, frozen vegetables and things like that. But then you still have to cut them up in things, which is a lot more difficult to do if they're frozen. So even making something that it's as simple as throwing it in the crock pot can be expensive and time consuming. But if you have the time, if you have someone that's willing to go grocery shopping pretty often, cooking can be fun. Ouch. Cut it out, you! Oh, I absolutely do not eat a balanced diet by any means. My eating habits are horrid. Wait, don't touch that. Don't do it. Holy crap. I would like to get that 5,000, but I don't know that's going to happen. I don't know if you have to do these side quests or not. Or if they really benefit you, other than giving you excess money, which would... It's obviously a benefit. And we're all healed up, right? Yeah. I think she'll catch up in levels, at least I hope. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for me for today. I think a 3-hour stream is okay after doing a 16-hour one. Let me find somebody to host you guys with.